the lyrics go a little bit like this. Light is as light as a piece of paper. Light, the place where it lands on. Light, it hurries while the applause is fading. She is singing around the intolerable wound. The script is on the stage performing the last scene, while everyone from the village is sitting in their seats, seeing silently how time can abandon this theatre. Flames of war have dirtied her tears. Who is asking for candies in the wind? In the first scene in the beginning of the story, dust has already covered the sunlight bank field and has been carved on the children's face. The wheat fields have already fallen in the direction the combat tank has passed through. The shape of the dandelion is dispersing. It is flying hopelessly. She only sings, only thinks this song of stopping the casualties of war. Light a candle in the fierce night. Stop the mess of the war when the day breaks. Song of the casualties passed down 1,000 miles. Homeland is empty and hungry. Being naive on this road, falling and bumping around. She is graced by grass. What is the shape of hope in the children's eyes? Is it waking up and having bread for breakfast and drinking a bowl of hot soup? The farmer finally picks up his gun because of the destroyed land and village, but she slowly gets used to giving up the fence. What is the shape of hope in the children's eyes? Is it being able to play on the swings in the yard and having candies in their pockets? The land from the bayonet is sharpened by revenge, being barbaric in a distance, but she just smiles and doesn't know how to fluster.
That's actually stunning.
Yeah, so it obviously must have impacted him heavily, just observing and being there to be able to want to record it also.
Obviously, it's the aftermath of war. You're seeing the
It's a story that usually never gets told, right?
Correct.
Like
what happens
war,
after what
cities or town.
The settling of a war, a town brought up by war.
Yeah.
You know, because if you think about it, those kids are 20 plus now, right? So they're the adults that are carrying the weight of that generation, and it makes you wonder what are the things that might have been different for them if the whole environment wasn't as
obviously
bleak as it was for
this is outside of our realm of expertise, except for the musical aspect of it, hence we always look at things from a musical lens. It's really intriguing because a lot of times, even throughout different parts of the world, music has been used a lot of times as either a peacemaker, to send a message, or sometimes to then artists become really passionate about specific issues and conflict per se, and they end up creating art like this. So it is a recurrent theme throughout the whole of history of art. Depictions of war, both internally in a specific country and then obviously internationally and externally in wars between territories. But it's super intriguing to see how modern artists, through a hip-hop lens, discuss such topics and then utilize his own classical music background with the piano to impose a much more impactful, sad, and musical theme throughout such a heartbreaking sort of topic.
I think in all, the layers and the composition per se has a very strong identity in terms of the difficulty of bringing some of that conceptual idea into live. It's a very big jump between the birth of the idea and the actual conceptualization of the song. It's really cool to see that. At least I wouldn't think it lost any identity from birth to conception.
It'll be interesting for him to review his own song, especially this that obviously has so much emotion behind it.
He has spoken about this, though.
Yeah, now 20 years later, for him to sit down and have a look at that, that would be something that I would love to do with a lot of these artists. Have a look at some of their prior work, a lot of their work. Like for example, that Sandy Lamb story with Jonathan Lee. He got left in the rain when he wrote that song. I'd love to then revisit that work and revisit those stories and obviously find out their own thoughts at the time and how they review their own work currently, and now how they've evolved as human beings. Perhaps their perceptions have changed. Perhaps they want to add even more. That would be super, super interesting.
I would totally agree. Anyways, let us know what you thought when this song came out.
Right.
I would love to see your initial reactions. Obviously, the climate at the time in 2004 was definitely different to what is now. And
also, it's possible that a lot of you were very young at the time, or maybe you were in your teens and now you're in your 30s.
So let us know what your initial thought was.
Goodbye.
Adios.